Just imagine the problem you're creating, you see? Out of the slightest link. It doesn't matter. You see, really, if we're looking at it now, doesn't matter. If there is one that comes in a bad mood, doesn't matter. Let him live, and then it will pass anyway. It's going to pass anyway. But who cares normally? Everybody could learn to reason like that. Yes, so we would even accept the guy who replies in a bad mood or the girl who is not in a good mood. You know, we look and there you go. It doesn't matter. Especially if someone phoned you just beforehand to say there is so-and-so who died, there is so-and-so just been put in intensive care, there are the children or so-and-so who are alone because they no longer have parents, etc., etc. You see, that's additional, but there is not even a need for that. There is just that kind of attitude, but you don't care if somebody is in a bad mood. You see, normally it's like that. What are you doing, people? In front of someone in a bad mood, you get in a bad mood. Or even her, she doesn't even have to be in a bad mood. She just comes to ask you something, and already you're reacting like this. Why is that? The explanation is quite simple. It is that you're not present to you. You are not present, and there is something else reacting at you. It is what we call the little I, or entanglements. Little I entangled with your great-grandmother or anyone, someone who marked you in your childhood. Or the animal in you, maybe even the mineral in you. You see, or the vegetal in you. There is only one way out. That is why, in the fourth way, we start with that, self-remembering. You see, one could say that only. There is only that, remembering yourself, who you really are, and that's it. And you act from self-remembering. Everything else, you see, is unfolding inside you. It's not important. And without self-remembering, human beings are subject to one of the little cells, one of the instincts, or something like that. Do you even understand the principle? And then we spend our time for 30 years talking about the little I, and then about the one who reacts, the one who doesn't react, about this, about that, when the basis is really simple, self-remembering. You see how, for example, you look at this poor Anna, and she annoys you. You think it is Anna who is annoying you, when it is an eye of your nonsense that you see in her, but you don't notice it. You don't notice. You think it's her who is annoying you. Someone who annoys us, who makes us angry or something like that, we think it's him. But it is our lack of understanding, our lack of wisdom, our ignorance. It's our illusions that do that. You know what I mean? And it is like that all the time. That's why all it takes is a bit of distance, a bit of looking back on yourself and seeing all this cinema, both external and above all internal cinema. And once you know it, then you still need the courage to do otherwise. Normally, when Anna annoys you, you should say, Anna, thank you for revealing the idiots that exist in me. You see? And that's all. That's why thanking someone who annoys you should be that spontaneous and natural movement. Oh, thank you. You reveal something in me that I can transform and that still exists in me. Do you do that? You could start doing that. As soon as somebody annoys you, you say, thank you, you just revealed the fool in me. Yes, indeed. Yes. Hey, Rabdam. Yes, yes. You see, you can spend your day like this until the day you don't need to do it anymore because you've taken a step back. You've taken a step back and you're with yourself. You see, to the end, it resonates with the same thing in you. It is the same things that resonate. That's it. That's how you can understand. You see what you've just explained. That's exactly it. Someone's coming. It is bothering you. Why? Because the same thing already exists in you. You don't want it anymore. So what do? You get it out of you and you want to leave it to the other person when it's already inside you. We can do it that way, yes. And on the path, we can do things differently. We can become a little smarter. We can act a little faster. That is to say that we can. That is preciously what we can do. It is a liberation of suffering, but for that you need willpower. You have to decide things. You need intelligence. You need the heart and the will. And then you can liberate yourself. And it is a real work. And sometimes we do not have the energy to do it. And other times we do not know that we can do it. Other times we do not know that we must do it. That's the way it is. Yes, that is to say that the problem is that you people have not listened to the basics of the teaching. In the basis of the teaching we say there is a house, inside it there is a cook, there is a gardener, there is a butler, there are servants, there is even a handyman, you see? And then there is an intendant. Who's got the authority? In your house, it is sometimes a gardener, sometimes a cook, sometimes a servant, sometimes a butler. Each in turn takes control. That's a disorderly house. And then one day, you meet the path, and there you say to yourself, but I know them. I know the one who dreams. I know the one who is aggressive. I know the one who is depressed. I know the one who is anxious. I know the one who likes to study. I know the one who likes to understand. I know the one who hates other and the one who loves other. And you see there are some like that, and all those who live in the house. And you say to yourself, I know all those. And now I want to be the intendant of all those people. Not all these personalities are going to show up in my house anymore. I decide who and when. And that's what we call the good intendant. The one that you have to create within yourself, who manages all these people and who say at what time meals are served, at what time we go to bed, at what time we get up, at what time we can talk to others, at what time we can eat together, at what time we can drink together, at what time we can dance together. It is a good intendant in you who decides that. And the teaching says, when you observe all these people and when the good intendant begins to master the situation a little, there is something else going on. The true master of the house says to himself, my house is well run. All the rooms are welcoming. The food is well made. The garden is well cultivated. Now I can go home. And then you awaken. The master, that is the spirit, awakes. That's the way it is. That's what it is said in the very first lessons, in the very, very first lessons. And it is really raining. And now it's really raining. You don't notice it. I can stand some of it. I'm even happy about a few drops falling down.